Hi everyone, welcome to our lesson. It is Wednesday and today we will do our STEM lessons, science, technology, engineering, and math. Specifically, we will talk about math, making tens in math, and in science, we will talk about the basic needs of living things. Let's get started. Thank you for joining me. Let's give another birthday shout out to Sony Ashley. She was our only birthday friend in June, and we shall find out soon who our birthday will be in July. So keep an eye out for that too. And now, our promise. Thank you for keeping your promises. These are our Zoom call expectations, and we promise to keep them during every Zoom call and every learning experience we have. Participate, be respectful, be on time, keep your microphones muted, include your name in the chat or in the Zoom, and stay seated. Keep your eyes on the screen. Don't look around. You'll miss it. Okay, here we go. What are we doing today, Mrs. Cruz? We're going to do a little math and we're going to do a little science. In math, we will use tens frames models to make a 10. That's right. We're going to learn how to add numbers together to make a 10. It's a super important skill. And we will also learn how to write equations that show how to make a 10. Okay, an equation. It's like a math sentence. Yeah. And then in science, what are we doing in science? We will review the basic needs of living things. All living things have needs to survive. What are they? We'll find out. Are you guys ready to Nearpod? We have a lot to do, so let's do it. Okay, guys, we are ready to Nearpod. If you are working from home on your own, you will receive a new code to log in for the Nearpod today. So keep an eye on your email and you will receive a link for our Nearpod with a new code, and it will also have our video from today's lesson so you can watch and learn a little bit about what we need to know today. So what are we doing? One more time in math. We will use tens frames to learn how to make a 10. We will create models. Yeah, models. I love models. To write equations to show how to make a 10. Can't wait to do it. And then in science, we will review, because I think you already know, but we're going to go over them because it's a very, very important lesson to learn the basic needs of all living things. All living things have basic needs, and we'll learn the vocabulary. Those are the important words to know, and match some pictures to show that we know the basic needs of all living things. What do they need to live? Here we go. Let's make some tens. What are we going to do today, Mrs. Cruz? How can we make a 10, you ask? That's our question. How can we make a 10? If you put up your fingers, all of them, you already made a 10. Look at that. I have 5 on this hand and 5 on that hand. 5 and 5 make 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I made a 10. That's my model. Look at my model. If I didn't show you, then I wouldn't be modeling it. That's right. You'd say, I can't see anything. That's right. A model is when you can see stuff. You can draw it. You can use your fingers. You can use objects. Making a model shows me your thinking. So we're going to talk about a little bit more about that. The first thing we're going to do is ask you, how much do you already know about making a 10? Do you know how to make a 10? A, I know a lot. I know how to do it. I can do it in my sleep. B, I know a little bit. I can make some 10, like 5 and 5, but I get confused on making other types of 10s with different numbers. Or C, I don't know what a 10 is. What's a 10, Mrs. Cruz? How do you add, Mrs. Cruz? Well, that's C. And it's okay to be honest. If you don't know, mark it down so we can help you. All right. Being honest helps your teacher understand what we need to teach. Okay. So choose your answer and let's go on. We're going to play a quick little video with our favorite Mr. Jack Hartman, and he's going to talk a little bit about making tens. We're going to watch probably most of it. So Pay attention. Let's see what he has to say about making tens.
Jack Cartman! Kids Music Channel!
Let's learn our number pairs. Build your math fluency. These are number pairs that make 10. I can say my number pairs. Yes, I can. I can say my number pairs and use my hands. I know that two parts make a whole. Let's learn the number pairs of 10. Nice and slow. 10 and 0. 0 and 10. 9 and 1. 1 and 9.
Well, let's stop and look at that for a second. Not only is he modeling with his hands, that's right. Remember my model? I can show you what I'm thinking using my hands. He's also modeling using a tens frame. Look at that little box at the bottom. A frame holds pictures normally, doesn't it? But it's also can be like an organizer. Yeah, I have to clean out my closet. I have to organize it. Now, you can use the same type of organizer in math. Just show the numbers in the organizer, and you'll notice he did that too. He colored the groups different colors. So his first group he showed in this example was one little blue dot. That's his 1. And he asks a very important question. If I have 1, how many more do I need to make 10? A whole 10. You mean I have to fill up the whole model? Yes. If you don't fill up that frame, that tens frame, it wouldn't be a 10. That's right. So we have to make sure it's all filled in before we can call it a 10. If it only has 1 in there, can you call 1 a 10? Is 1 the same as 10? No, Miss Cruz, that's a lot different. The value of 1 is just one little baby. 10 would be all 10 of them completed, all filled up. So that's a big difference. So if he has 1, how many more does he need to fill up the 10 frame? Yes. So we're going to talk a little bit more about this. I just want you to pay attention while we watch the rest of the video. We're halfway done. So he can show you different ways to make 10. He's already shown you 2, 3, 4 ways already, I think. So let's see what other ways he can show.
9, 8, and 2. 2 and 8.
Oh, he flips them around.
7 and 3.
I wonder if he flips this one.
3 and 7.
Oh man, I know that.
6 and 4.
You gonna flip this one?
4 and 6.
Oh, he flipped it around.
5
Oh, we know this
and
one.
5.
I knew this one.
5
Flip it around.
and 5.
It makes 10.
Those are the number pairs that make 10.
Wow, that's a lot of different ways to make a 10. So look at each one. If you go down this column, you'll see all the different ways to make 10. 10 and 0, still 10. 9, and you just have to add 1 more, you'll make a 10. If you have 8, oh, 9, 10, you only need 2 more. What if you have 7? 8, 9, 10. You need 3 more. What about 6? 7, 8, 9, 10. You'll need 4 more. And remember our hands, 5 and 5. If you come over to the second column, you can see he kind of flipped the numbers around and showed new ways to make a 10. 0, if I have 0, I need all 10. If I have 1, I just need 9 more. If I have 2, I just need 8 more. 3, I need 7 more. 4, I need 6 more. 5, I need 5 more. Oh, they'll all make 10. I love this. All right, let's move on and actually practice making 10s. Here is a fun little activity for you to match up, just like he did. Match up numbers to make sure they make a 10 though. You can't make a 9. That's not a 10. If I match up 2 plus 2, that doesn't make a 10. That only makes 4, so I can't match those. So your job is to think of numbers that will add up together and make a 10. You can use dots, cubes, fingers, beans, anything to help you so that you make sure dun, 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 that you add numbers that do make 10. Let's do an example to show you something that would not make a 10. Ready? Let's make a boo-boo, a mistake first, a misconception. Here we go. If I said 4, I have 4 already. What if I just add 1 more? Will that make 10? Nope, that won't make 10, will it? It's not enough. But if I have 4, how many more do I need to make a whole 10? Let's see. Look, I can add this one here. That's 1. And then I can do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. I needed 6 more to add to my 4. And now I have a 10. So I just needed 6 more. Look at that, 4 and 6 make a 10. If you forget, you can go back to the video, go to the very end, and you can look at all the different ways. All right, so let's go very quickly. I remember the ways. Do you know the easiest one? 5 and 5. That's right. I knew that 5, I had 5. I just need 5 more. Those are my hands. Let's see. Let's look around. How about, what if I have all 10 already? Do I need any more? No. You're right if you said no. If you already have all 10, I've got them. I filled them in. They're all filled in. I don't need any more. That's zippo 0, nothing. So 10 plus 0 makes 10. All right, let's see. Let's do another one. What if I have 9? 9. If I have 9 potatoes already in my frame, my goodness, that's so close to 10. How many more do I need? 9. 1 more. I just need 1 more to make 10. Ding. What if I have 8? Now I want you to think about your 10 frame for a moment. Imagine it's empty and it has 10 open spots, and you can start dropping your dots or your seeds or cubes into each spot, and you have 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many more do I need? 9, 10. 2 more. If you said I have 8, I just need 2 more. That makes sense to me. It does. I had 9, I only needed 1 more. So if I have 8, I need 2 more. What if I have 7? Yeah, well, you already know it's the last one here. 3 more. That's right. Excellent job, guys. So let's move on. You can practice that on your own. Let's jump forward. Circle the apples that represent the addends in the equation. So now you'll notice that this does not make a 10, does it? Wah, wah, wah. Look at that. I don't see 10 apples, but what I do see is something very important for you to know about writing a math equation. An equation is like a sentence, but in math. All right. So if you read it right across, it actually tells you a story, doesn't it? Let's read the story. I'm going to start with the 1 apple. Okay. And let's read across and learn the story. Here we go. I have 1 apple and I get 2 more. It now equals 3 and I have 3 apples. I used to have 1, I got 2 more, and now it equals 3. 1 plus 2 equals 3. Oh, what are addends? Addends? There's an important word for you to know. It's what we're adding together. So our addends would be 1, and the other addend that I'm adding together with the 1 is this 2. So my addends are 1 and 2, and I'm adding them together. That's right. So my addends are what I'm adding. 1 plus 2. And when I add them together, I have a new word, and that's called my sum. So these are called addends. And that's funny because it has the word add in it. But anything you are putting together or adding together are called addends. So this is an addend, and these are addends. What's the sum? It is your answer for an addition problem. And our sum is 3, right? So you need to know this. You also need to know how to write an equation. Something plus something equals your sum. So now that you know all about how to write an equation, hopefully, and you also know the vocabulary words, the terms that we use when we write an equation, which is a math sentence, you can speak like a mathematician. You don't have to say, I add this thing and that thing, and I put them together and I get that thing. That's not very mathematical, is it? So we can actually sound like a teacher, a student, a mathematician when we use those big words like, these two addends can be added together to create this sum. So and this equation will show me the sum of these two addends. Doesn't that sound really mathematical and smart? I think so too. So try using those very important vocabulary words that you now know about how to add in an equation. Okay, so let's move on. We're going to be writing equations momentarily. So here we go. Now we have some equations already ready for you. And you'll notice that there's a little blank box. That is saying, what is the other addend that I need to add to 4 so I can make a 10? Well, good news. I have math models ready for you. You see these tens frames? It already shows you what you already have as an addend. Now this says I already have 4. So we already put 4 red apples in. My question is, something's missing. How many green apples do I need to fill up the 10 frame to make a 10? So let's grab a little green apple and start plopping him in to fill up the rest of the 10s frames. Only 1 apple per square, right? So we need to make sure that each one fits in each box. Now, is that enough yet? Did I fill it in? Is it a 10 yet? Can I say 10? No, it's not filled in. Can't tap the 10 until it's all filled in. Ooh, wait, can we add another one? Do we need to add any more? Are we all done? Did we fill it in? Great. Now, all you have to do is count to see how many green apples you added into the 10 frame to finally make a full 10. Okay, so let's see how many you added. Yeah, I think so too. Guess what? You get to write that in the box now. So your answer is the missing addend was I needed 6 green apples to add to my 4. And now that the sum will equal 10. Here's my equation. 4 plus 6 equals 10. Now, we're not going to do each one because this is something you can practice on your own. Step 1, read the equation. 7 plus blank equals 10. That tells me I know I have 7, but I don't know how many more I need. Step 2, slide over to the model. See our tens frame? We already have the 7 red apples. How many green apples do we need to finish filling into our 10 frame to make the 10? Notice each one ends with 10. So I need to fill the whole 10s frame in. That's right. Can't leave any out. Step 3, slide your green apples in to fill in your 10 frame and make it complete. So you can tap your 10 and be done. Now, step 4 and final step, count your apples that you had to add in the second addend and put it in your second addend box, your blank box. All right, so it was 1, 2, 3. I added 3 more. So go ahead and draw, hit your little draw tool. Let's do a new color. There it is. Here are my addends, 7 plus 3, and my sum is now 10. Oh, I can tap my tens. I'm done. Try that on your own. Okay, guys? It's fun to slide those apples in and create your model to show that you've made 10 in your tens frames. Okay, so now I've got two different ways I've made a 10. 4 and 6 makes a 10, and so does 7 and 3. They both make 10s in different ways. Okay, move on, Mrs. Cruz. Here is one you can practice on your own. I'm not going to give this away, but I am going to ask you a question. What color are you going to draw for your other addend? You'll notice that there's already dots in your 10 frame. Okay, so I want you to stop and count how many there already are. All right, so let's see. Did you count 9 too? Well, if you did, you're right. That is going to be your first addend. Now, are you finished? Does it equal 10 yet? No, something's missing. Draw it in. And then down here for your other addend, tell me how many you had to finish filling in. 9 already. 9 your first addend's 9. So I had 9 already. How many more did you need to make 10? Make a 10. 9 plus something equals 10. There's your equation. Finish writing that in and you're good. Yeah, that's wonderful. Okay, here's another one to try. I'm going to read it to you, and I'm also going to point out that it already has some information already plugged in to your 10 frame. So here it is. It says there are 3 counters already in the 10 frame. Draw the counters to make a full complete 10. It's not full or complete yet, is it? Can't tap your 10 if it's not done. So you notice how many blanks are there. So the question is, how many more counters did you need to add to make a 10? Then underneath, fill in the equation. Show me the addends. Let's see, I'll help you with this far. We already had 3. So how many did you have to fill in? Show me that second addend, and then you can tell me that way to make a 10. 3 plus something equals 10. All right, guys, practice that on your own, please. Next, we're getting closer to the end, guys. Here's a collaboration screen. I'd ask kindly that you just write a new equation for me. I want you to, and you can use your fingers. I love using my fingers too. You can use dots, you can use objects, anything you need, okay, to make a 10. Bonus points if you use a 10 frame. So show you how to make a 10 frame. They're really easy. Now, this collaboration screen is asking you to tell me a way to make a 10. So can you think of a way to make a 10? Let's see, 5 and 5, 5 plus 5 equals 10. So I would write my equation like this. Down at the bottom, I would write 5, find my plus, and then I would do equals, and then 10. Look, 5 plus 5 equals 10. I'm going to give myself a heart. That is one way that I can write an equation to show how to make a 10. Can you think of a different way? All right, guys. Now, how confident do you feel about making a 10? Remember that Jack Hartman little movie, that little video? At the end, all the different ways he listed, there were 2 columns, and he showed all the different ways to make a 10. There's actually 12 different ways that you can add 2 numbers to make a 10. Now, you wanted to know how to make a 10. So down here, a 10 frame. Let's make a 10 frame. First thing you do is to draw a big rectangle. Look at that beautiful rectangle. Now, step 2 is to slice it like a sandwich right through the middle. Nice horizontal line. Isn't that nice? Looks like a sandwich, doesn't it? So now the next thing you do is to draw an H, a big capital H in the middle. That's so easy to do because watch closely. All you have to do is right in the middle of our box, draw a capital H. Can you see that H? It's already done. That middle line's already done for you. Now the final step is you'll notice that on either side, it's too big. So you need to slice it one time vertically down right through the middle. There's a slice here and a slice here. Okay, now guess what you just made? You made a tens frame. And now you should have 10 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is a quick way to make a tens frame that you need to draw because you know what? You can't carry a 10 frame around with you everywhere, but if you have paper and pencil, you can recreate one and then you can show your add-ins and all the different ways to make a 10. This is going to be very important to you coming up for first grade especially. We're going to be using tens frames quite a bit, especially in the beginning. So learn how to make them and use them. Let's move on. We are not going to do a time to climb today, but guess what? You can join the time to climb when you are working on your Nearpod on your own. And what this is it's going to give you an opportunity to practice your equations and how to make tens, right? So it only has a few questions and it sort of challenges you and gives you an opportunity to practice how to make tens. All right, so let's move on. And we are going to go to science. Okay, guys. So, whew, you did great. Do a quick stretch. Oh, yes. Let's stretch. Oh, I like stretching. Okay. Now, let's be a tree. Give me branches. Let's be a pretty flower. How about a bird? Make a bird. Okay. Now, those are all living things, aren't they? How about grass? Should we pretend to be grass and grow? That's a good one. What else is living? Let's be a puppy. How about a bunny rabbit? What else can you be? I have a snake. I'm going to pretend to be a snake. So think of a living thing. Not everything's living. We're going to find out how we can tell too. In the video now, you can settle back down and relax. Let's watch this quick video about living things in our world and what they need to survive. Okay, it's important that we understand what all living things need.
Ow! I am lucky. I am going to keep this butterfly forever in my glass jar. Oh, don't do that, Jimmy. The butterfly won't be able to live in the glass jar for long. Why not? My stone collection is also in a glass jar. Stones are non-living things. They are fine in the glass jar. But butterflies and other living things have needs like air, food, water, and a place to live.
Oops, let's go back and see what she just said. She said something very important.
Stones are non-living things. They are fine in the glass jar. But butterflies and other living things have...
Oh, there it is. We need air, food, water, and what was the other one?
have needs.
And a place to live. That's right. We need space to grow and live. So it is important for us to know that all living things need those 4 basic needs to survive. Now you'll notice he put the butterfly in the jar. Stop and think for a minute. Is that a good idea? If we put the butterfly in the jar, will he be able to have all his needs met? Will he be able to get food, water, air, Does he have a good place to survive? Space to grow? What do you guys think? Is a jar a great place to live? Not for a living thing. It's okay for the jelly beans, though.
Glass jar. Stones are non-living things. They are fine in the glass jar. But butterflies and other living things have needs like air, food, water, and a place to live. Okay, I'll leave the butterfly, but you will have to tell me more about this. Deal. Here it flies away. Very good boy. Okay, now tell me, what do you mean by the needs of living things? Living things like plants and animals need some important things to be alive in life. I am a living thing too, ain't I? Yes, of course you are. And the basic needs that you have are same as other living things like a rose plant or an elephant.
Wait, what did she just say? We have the same needs as an elephant? Really? That's right. That's right. The very basic needs, just the very basic ones that if we don't have them, we won't survive. We have the same ones as an elephant and a rose bush. Wow. What about a fish? Can you think of another living thing that has the same basic needs as we do? How about my dog? Yeah. My dog and I have the same basic needs. No way. Let's see. Does he need food? So do I. Does he need water? Yeah. So do I. Does he need air? So do I. And what about a place to live? Yeah, he needs some space to grow and some shelter. Yes, for sure. He has the same basic needs as I do. You'll meet him in just a moment. All right, so let's finish up a few more minutes of this and then we'll move on and then be done with our lesson.
How is that possible? Let me explain. The first most important need we have is air. All living things need to breathe. What happens if there is no air? Why don't you try to hold your breath and see?
Uh-oh. I can't do that very long and you shouldn't try.
Oh,
We
I
definitely
was not
need
feeling
air.
well. See, you needed to breathe, just as a rose plant or an elephant.
And even fish actually breathe oxygen through the water. That's right. So they need oxygen as well. So isn't that interesting? Fish need oxygen too. Yeah.
What about fish? Are they living
Oh,
things
we
too?
know that. All right, let's skip
See?
on.
Food gives us energy. Different living
we need
things
food.
get energy in
What did you eat
different
for
ways.
breakfast? Did you get some energy? Did you know that plants make their own food? Yeah. I wonder what sharks eat.
I know. Different animals eat different things. You are a smart boy. Do you know what a rabbit eats? Yes, carrots.
And lettuce.
And a cow?
Grass.
Grass.
And hay.
Very good. How about pandas?
I
I read it somewhere. Pandas eat bamboo.
Bamboo plants. That's right.
Super. What about birds?
Do you know what birds eat?
They eat seeds and worms. Ew. Now tell me, what do plants eat? Plants.
We know this
they
now.
Eat.
They make their own.
I think
They make their own food. Let's see what she says.
Okay, I don't know. Can you please tell me what do plants eat? Plants take nutrients and water from the soil and light from the sun to make their own food.
See, they make their own food.
Wow.
All right, let's move on. What else do
Imagine
we talk
a tree.
about?
And some more trees. Imagine a river flowing by and lots of bushes and shrubs. Now imagine a polar bear there.
Oh,
That's not right. How can a polar bear be here?
now they're talking about a space to grow. So we talked about air and food. We'll talk about water in a moment, but we're also talking about the space they need to grow. So I guess what they're saying is that living things have their own different needs in an environment. So a polar bear would want a special place for himself to grow, very different from, say, I don't know, an alligator. So we have different habitats or environments that we have. And then finally, we'll talk about, well, we all need a place to grow, right?
Bear need to
Water.
I
But we need water to survive. Our bodies are mostly made of water and we need it to survive. Matter of fact, we can't go very long without it. So, and it's the same as true for plants.
What else? All living things need energy from food and water.
So she talked about water a little bit too. So now let's finish up our lesson and talk about the basic needs of all living things. And then you'll meet my dog and we'll say goodbye. Okay, here we go. Now this is a quick matchup. These are the vocabulary words. So you see the words, we're going to match them to their pictures. Yes, I'll help you. No problem. So let's look very quickly at the pictures first. Okay, so in the first picture, I have a picture of what looks like some type of food or grain that we use to make food. So that, or seeds of some sort, right? So that's a food. Now let's come down here to, oh, look at this little fox. He's living inside his shelter, which is like a hollowed out piece of wood, right? So he's living in his shelter, his place to grow. Let's go over here and look at the water. Oh, somebody's drinking up water that does look like a dog drinking water, doesn't it? And now let's look over here. Oh, the sunshine, the light. Yes, very important for us. We do need sunlight. And then let's come down here and look at this one. Oh, we have some nutrients. It looks like we're giving the plant some vitamins and nutrients to help it grow. And then let's look over here. This little girl is in the wind. And we all know what wind is. It's air. Okay, so this has 6 basic needs, whereas the video only talked about 4. So let's review this so that you know. Let's do the ones you learned from the video first. So let's do the ones, let's see, she said air. All right, so let's find the word that says air. Here it is, starts with an A. And let's match it to the picture that shows windy air to breathe. Yay, we matched it up. Now let's see, what's another one? How about water? Here is the word water. Let's match it up to the picture of the doggy drinking water. Let's see if there was another one. She talked about food. Let's go ahead and match up. Starts with F. Food. Okay, and let's see. Oh, that was the grain or seed. Let's match that up. Okay, so she said air, water, food, and space to grow or shelter. Let's match that one. Okay, that's down here at the bottom. It says shh. Oh, remember the SH? Shelter. Good. Now let's match up the little fox hiding in his shelter. Now there's 2 more things to discuss. Plants can't make their own, can't go out and buy food, so they have to make their own. Yeah, you don't see a plant driving through McDonald's, do you? No, he makes his own food. So we're going to click how plants make their own food, and that is sunlight. They need light. People need light too. Yeah, it's important for us. It helps our bodies grow. So let's match up sunlight, that's that big word on top, to the picture of the sun. There is a need, a basic need we all need to grow and survive. And the last one is a funny word. It's sort of like vitamins, but it's called nutrients. And it's something that we have in our bodies and plants have in their plant bodies to help them grow, and it's called nutrients. So let's match that up to the picture of us feeding a plant some special nutrients to help it grow. Awesome. We did it. all finished. You guys can practice that on your own as well. We are all done. I did promise that you would get to meet my dog before we left. So let me have you meet Nucci. There he is. Pinuccio, say hi. He wants to go run and play. So I'm going to say goodbye to you guys and see you next week. We will meet up next week for our lesson on Tuesday and Wednesday at 10:30. I hope you join me. Bye, guys.